When you think of a leader, what comes to mind? Is it some king on a throne just handing down orders? Well, in a constitutional republic like the United States, that whole picture is just completely wrong. See, real leadership here isn't about having all the power. It's about something else entirely. So, let's break down what that is.
So let's just jump right into the big question. What actually makes a great leader? I mean, really, is it about being the most powerful person in the room? Or the most popular? Or, especially in a system like ours that's built on laws and the will of the people, is it something way, way deeper?
And this right here, this shows the fundamental difference perfectly. On one side, you've got that classic top-down model, absolute power. It's all about commands from a single ruler. But on the other side, you've got the model for a republic, and it's a completely different ballgame. Here, leadership is about service, it's about mediation, and a really deep respect for the rule of law. It's basically the difference between ruling over people and governing with them.
So that brings us to this really crucial idea, a different kind of power. And the key, as you can see, is service, not sovereignty. This is the foundational concept that in a republic, the power doesn't actually belong to the leader. It's on loan. It's loaned to them by the people for the people.
Okay, so let's lock in a clear definition here. Leadership in a constitutional republic is the ability to guide by interpreting what the people want, upholding the Constitution, and this part is so important, mediating all the conflicts that are just bound to happen in a diverse society. It's not just about making a decision, it's about building the consensus you need for that decision to actually stick.
So if that's the what, then what does it actually look like in practice? Well, that brings us to the leader's blueprint. We're going to break down the core qualities that every leader in a republic really needs to have.
First up, and this is the absolute bedrock, service. We're talking about a genuine commitment to the public good. It's this core principle that a leader's #1 goal should be to improve the community, not to enrich themselves or just, cling to power for power's sake.
Next up, mediation. Now this is so interesting because it reframes the leader not as a commander, but as a consensus builder. A great example is Abraham Lincoln. He had to mediate these incredibly intense conflicts inside his own cabinet, his famous team of rivals, just to keep the Union war effort from falling apart. It's that really difficult but essential skill of getting opposing sides to sit down and find some kind of common ground.
Third, we have the rule of law. And look, this one is just non-negotiable. It's the commitment to uphold the Constitution, even when it's tough, even when it's politically inconvenient. A leader might really not like a court's decision, for instance, but they're still bound to respect it. This principle is what makes sure that no one, not even the person in charge, is above the law.
And finally, we have integrity. Honestly, you can think of this as the glue that holds this whole thing together. It's that moral and ethical strength a leader shows, and it's the absolute foundation for building and, just as importantly, maintaining public trust. Without it, the rest just falls apart.
Okay, so you might be thinking, do these qualities only matter for presidents? And the answer is absolutely not. Whether we're talking about national leaders or local leaders, the scale might be totally different. But as we're about to see, the core principles, they're exactly the same. This table lays it out pretty clearly. A national leader, they're dealing with a countrywide scope, shaping huge policy decisions. But a local leader, like a mayor or a school board member, they're focused on immediate community needs, stuff like city budgets and local services. The challenges are different for sure, but the critical point is that those principles of service, mediation, and integrity, they are just as vital for both.
Now, for my favorite part, we're going to shift from the theory to a really practical tool with Your Analyst Toolkit. This section is all about giving you a simple but really powerful method to analyze pretty much any leader you encounter, whether they're from the past or the present. And the tool is called Biographical Inquiry. It's just a straightforward way to look past what a leader did and get to the how and the why. Basically, it means looking at the specific challenges they were up against, the real options they had on the table, and how their personal leadership style, their integrity, their skill as a mediator actually influenced the final choice they made. And it all breaks down into 3 simple steps. First, you identify the specific challenge. What was the problem? Second, you analyze the real options they had. What could they have actually done? And third, you connect their leadership style to the outcome. You ask yourself, how did their integrity or their lack of it or their skill at mediation really shape the final decision they made?
Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this quote, because it just perfectly captures everything we've talked about. In a republic, leadership is not about being in charge,
It's about taking care of those in your charge. It's that fundamental, powerful shift in thinking from power over to responsibility for.
And that just about does it. So I'll leave you with one final question to chew on. Who is a leader, big or small, national or local, from today or from way back in history, that you can now analyze using this new toolkit? Go on, give it a shot. Thanks for joining me on this one.